This is a fascinating class for Southern Cal. And Cohen Brown, again, USC right now, like what they're recruiting is we just hit for the cycle and now we're just going to get a double off of a guy. We're up 14-2 on the entire country. And now we're just going to pick somebody right from the Fort Worth area as well. They got a absolute stud player that's just north of here in Texas. That's a defensive lineman that was a big get. And the D tackle's name, I'm sorry, it's escaping me. But Dennis Simon's here and USC, like Trent Mosley is a big 4-star talent. And they have these guys very separate. And Mosley's a pretty good player. But I'm telling you that from watching this tape, I think that Cohen Brown is closer to a 92 than he is like an 86 rated, on these sites. So I think that he's comfortably underrated. Baylor was pretty much, primarily after him. Some of the bigger schools, I guess Nebraska and Arkansas, so it's not like he's a complete sleeper. But a little bit sleepy. Like you didn't have Texas, Texas is right in state. You didn't have a lot of other schools like Georgia or Florida or some SECs except for Auburn. And after the catch, he's damn good after the catch. So the interesting thing about these early clips is he looks pretty good in these clips. He is 5'11", and he's fast. There's guys that are going to be quicker, but he has a unique ability. His superpower is breaking tackles. He's excellent at breaking tackles and keeping his feet about him. I mean, this is incredible, I think, this play, because, you look at it right here, and I'll pause it. He's going right into the absolute abyss of defenders right here. And this play looks dead. It looks like it's going to be over. And he has the sideline and about 4 defenders, about 4 or 5 of these, defenders right here. And yet he continues on. The play is not over. And he takes it to the crib from here. I mean, this play looks absolutely dead in the water. It's a nice gain. But Cohen Brown has the ability to break tackles and make plays. He plays both sides of the football. There you see him, I really think right here in this clip, he looks fast right here on tape. Like this is one of his best clips. Like he looks, maybe it's the green jerseys, but he looks even like a good back. And he's a versatile player. You can send him on jet sweeps, slot fade routes. Absolutely. He's absolutely a slot player. But he's fast, and there I think he easily wins, tracks it very, very nicely. He's a really, really nice piece to this wide receiver room, and watch him here come on a cat blitz at playing two-way player at Waxahachie. Brings the physicality of the game, character guy if you're going to play two ways. Good throw here by the quarterback. Easily tracks the football. Really, he looks like he's really good in tracking the ball. And guys, like USC receivers are just, the one thing is Lincoln's going to get the absolute most out of the player. All right, so I think he's very, very good, and I like this play right here. Cuts it up. There's plays where I'm like, okay, I could, there's plays where I'd want him to even be faster. I think that he has really, really good potential. Looking at this player, I like this player. Physical, guy who's just a big play guy. Some receivers aren't. He's a pretty big play guy. I want him to use his body there, but he still catches the football well. And he's a gem in this class. He's a good receiver to me. He's underrated a bit. He should be probably towards a high 3-star to a 4-star player, but he's, squarely in as a 3-star player. All right. But I think he runs very good routes. He gets open. He's like a Sterling Sheppard if we're going to look at Lincoln's history, and that's who we need him to be. We need him to, if you're USC fans with Dennis Simons, you need him to be, I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Sheppard, but you need him to be a very good slot piece that's going to help out your offense. And then as a junior or as a sophomore, he needs to see the field and he needs to contribute. Okay. I'm going to have that expectation for him. So overall, just, and you know why? I think some of the bigger schools too, looking at some of the recruitments at the high school level, like there, he does a great job of catching the football in one motion and going up the field. So I'd say that he has good speed. I'd say that he breaks tackles. He has very good contact balance. He has an eye for the end zone and the big play. I'd say he runs pretty crisp routes, good catch radius. He's not the fastest or most sudden guy, change of pace kind of guy, but pretty darn reliable player. All right, and fast enough. There's some guys I don't think are explosive at all. I think that he does have juice, okay? And I think that he's not afraid of contact, and he's also not afraid of making plays, near the sideline. And I mean, I just think that he's pretty dependable, and you're going to need a dependable wide receiver, on third downs or late in the process. And he plays very good high school football, okay? So I really do like this signing for USC. I think that some of the bigger schools are probably going to ignore wide receiver unless you're an elite, unless you're the five stars. They're going to ignore these very good 4-star, 3-star gems because the big schools are probably going to try to poach in the portal for these guys. I think that's kind of the thinking out loud that I have in this process, because USC comes in here and gets Cohen Brown. I bet another cat blitz here. So does have some suddenness, change of pace, speed. So I think it's an exciting player, and you go deep in the heart of Texas to get this player.